right, so this is so far we got. The heads are off, cleaned up real nice. So now I gotta change the head gasket. New head gasket on, and these are the old heads. Came off of there. As you can see, all the intake sides are bent. Every single one of the intakes are bent, and it also kissed the piston too. And this one, same thing. Completely bent, but it touched the piston a little bit. Nothing to be concerned about. Right here, you see just a little scratch right there. Just a little bit right here, but nothing serious. So I'm gonna bring it up at the top dead center. This one, I'm gonna rotate it, make sure everything is good, and go from there. But for so far, there's no damage or anything, so this should be good to go. So I'm gonna head gasket on, then put the new heads on, and go ahead and assemble everything back. The goal is to get this running today. Started a little bit late on this, but you know, this is easy 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble it back, and finger crossed I get this up today, because I have another car coming in tomorrow, which I need the room. All right, so 5 minutes later. Sometimes I wonder how I move this fast, but I've been doing this thing for a while, so I kind of know what and what not to do, but I still learn every day. So oil pan is down. I'm glad I caught this thing, man, because imagine doing all this work and then had to take this thing back down. So got a couple of little shavings in here. Oh no, that's not shavings. That's the old gasket from the oil pan. So okay, so there goes that hole right here. Well, damn, I could put more fingers in it. So I know it has to be in the oil pan somewhere, because this engine didn't run after that. This happened, I believe this happened at the stoplight. So let's dig for some cheddar. Let's see what we'll find in here. All right. See, there it is, right there. I'm glad I found this thing before I put it back together, because disaster would be right around the corner. So all right, customer stated that he didn't drive the car. It happened at a stoplight, so therefore this car jump timing right there, and then it shuts off. So if that's the case, then I'm pretty sure we shouldn't have no issue with the bearings or anything like that. I'm sure the oil pressure was still good. Car just turned right off after the whole timing issue, so I don't think there's nothing major to worry about. So these are all gasket from the oil pan, and this thing looked like it never been changed for years, so I think we should be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all these old gaskets and take the oil pump off. Go ahead and take the oil pump off, and then go ahead and reassemble everything. So I guess this is one more win in the book, right? Well, not a win yet until this thing is up and running, but for now I found that, so it's good. All right, I know I said I was gonna leave this till tomorrow, but I couldn't help it. So I went ahead and removed transfer case, starters out, and went ahead and dropped the oil pan, cross member right here, everything right there, dump pipe. Oil pan is on the ground. So when I come in tomorrow, all I have to do now is just put this back together. So letting that one dry, come back to the time and everything, and then in the meantime I'm gonna with the oil pan also. So kill two birds with one stone, right? So again, I said I was gonna go home, and my wife just called me, so I gotta go. But yeah, that is it. I'm done for tonight, and I mean it this time. I am done for tonight. So oil pan is down. All right, satisfied, and come back with that tomorrow. So I'm gonna load my car on the tow truck right now, taking this home so I can have some space. So taking this home, it drives everything. Everything is good with it. Only issue I'm having right now is the torque converter is leaking. So I gotta put that back up on the lift, and I gotta change the seal for the torque converter. But we're done tonight, so we're back at it tomorrow. I'm over here watching Cletus McFerrin and building the hangar for an airplane. So anyway, I'll keep the guy posted tomorrow, man. I'm out. Okay, so this is how I do my timing, right? As I said before, you got these dots right here, these dots right here. Make sure these dots right here is connected to, is in line with the marks on the valve cover. If you look right here, got some marks right here. Make sure this white dot with that one is connected, and same thing in the back. But also, cylinder number one has to be a top dead center. So that piston has to be all the way up, top dead center. And not just that, you have to make sure down here, and the sprocket here and the crank is also top dead center, lined up. You're gonna look up here, it's gonna have a little mark right there. Make sure that is lined up. Okay? And when that's lined up, then you go ahead and this little pulley right here, you gotta make sure that, again, this is how I do mine. Make sure it's at 90 degrees. If you can see it, 90 degrees. So it's a little bit this way. So 90 degrees. And then you go ahead and tighten it with a 14. And the tool that you need for it is this. This right here will sit right into those little eyes right there. Lift it up. 90 degrees. If you look right here, it's at 90. It's not up here, it's at 90 over here. And you go ahead and tighten it. And then once you tighten it now, we're gonna remove these right here. Can't forget, okay? Do not forget to remove these. Again, I put these here so they can lock the cams. And this is how I do mine. As again, this worked for me. I ain't a professional or nothing, but this works for me, and this is how I do it. Everyone have their own way of doing their own stuff. So this is how I do mine. Been doing this for a while now. No issues. So go ahead, remove these screws. And next thing you're gonna do is go ahead and cut the zip ties. So alright. Cut the zip ties. Make sure you don't cut the belt. Cut the belt, then I feel sorry for you, but try not to cut the belt. I remember one time I did it and didn't remember to take this one off the back. It didn't mess anything up though, but I was wondering why it wasn't rotating like it should, and then when it got right here, luckily the zip tie break itself. So alright, I'm gonna go ahead now and rotate the engine, right? So let me put this camera back. Okay. Alright, so let me go ahead and I'm gonna rotate the engine now, okay? So it's on top dead center. Timing, everything's supposed to be on. This right here is a top dead center, cylinder number 1. Keep an eye on these white lines right here. These has to be lined up with the valve cover marks right there, front and back. Has to line up. And then let me get an oil sprocket so I can show you. Again, these for who still learning. Again, all right. So this is no good. Wish I had a better one I could show you, but this is what came off the car. The one that was on there that's broken. So this was sitting like this, okay? And if you look right here, you have a white mark right here, and you also have this little split right here. This is not completely lined up because it's bent, but this line and this right here is gonna line up, okay? So on the crank pulley down there is gonna have a little line right in the oil pump where they're supposed to line up with. All right, so once these are lined up down there, this is a top dead center, the pistons is all the way up, and these right here is lined up. It should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate the engine. So go ahead and pay attention to this and these right here, okay? It's hard to see this one, but pay attention to these and that right here. So, all right, I'm gonna rotate the engine. There you go. So screwdriver is gonna go down a few times, come back up. It's gonna come back up. It's gonna go back down again because it's up. Go back down. All right. It's gonna come back up. Keep an eye on it. Once it's all the way up top, keep an eye on these white dots right there. So right there, and valve cover, which is right there. Right there. Right there. All right. So now we are top dead center. And if you notice, screwdriver sitting all the way up. Went down, I think, like twice. Came back up. So, I show you. Piston number 1 is all the way up. And if you look at the timing marks, this one, they are matching the valve covers. Where the lines on the valve cover, which these lines right here. Okay, these line right in the valve cover, if you look right through there, it's supposed to line up. And the back is the same thing. When you come down here and you look, see that white dot right there is matching, and it's soft. It's on timing. It's on timing. So that's it for the timing part right now. I gotta put oil in the car. I gotta change the oil filter, and then I could literally start the car just like this. Don't think you have to put everything else back on, because you don't. So once oil is in the car, you don't even need the coolant. Once oil is in the car, I'm gonna put this plug back in and put the wire back in, and then I will connect the cam sensor, and I gotta put a crank sensor in, but connect the crank sensor, and I'm able to start the car. Okay, so let me go ahead and put some more stuff on. I gotta change the oil filter, and then put some oil in the car, and I'll go ahead and crank it, make sure everything is good before I go ahead and start assembling anything else. Because the best time to catch it is right now, before you start putting anything else back in the car. So let me go ahead and look for the other stuff so I can put them on.